What's going on, guys? Today we solved the mystery of which Picco engine is it again? So yeah, I went and bought myself another lot of used RC cars. I bought it off a buddy of mine. One of the treasures that came with the lot is this Picco Boost. Or is it a Picco Boost engine? First glances, it's Picco Boost. That's what the box says, right? But the box also says that it's a Picco V1 21 race off-road engine. Oh, is it a V1 or is it a Boost? Slide the box open and find out. Ooh, pretty. Now, obviously it's a used motor. It's not a brand new motor. And it's actually the engine to one of my Mugen Seiki MBX5 trucks that I purchased. Coincidentally enough, though, Picco World Champion engines, but the head says it's a team. It's definitely a V1, so at least it matches this part of the box. But which V1 is it? Let's find out. Investigate a little bit closer. Set the motor up over here. Get the box out of the way, because well, probably not going to need that until we go to pack up the engine again. Engine User's Guide. Read first. High Performance Racing Engine. So, dear friend, we congratulate you. You made a smart choice. Thank you for buying Picco. Yada yada yada. Funny thing is the manual doesn't say which Picco motor it is either. But what we got here? Well, that's kind of cool. We got some Picco stickers. Those are always handy to have. Look at that, V1 race. And I believe this is the update, yeah. Basic how to set up your carburetor. So, the owner's manual says it's for a V1 race. The engine says it's a team. What exactly do I have then? Yeah, so there's our instructions. Not really much to them. I should say it's a exploded diagram with all our part numbers on it. So, in an effort to figure out what it is I have here, I figured, well, is there a difference between a V1 race and a V1 team? And it turns out there sure is. The Team Edition will have ceramic bearings, a DLC weighted crank, and not that you'd ever notice it, but there is a little bit different exhaust port timing going on. And I found this by weeding through several pages of Google crap to find some actual information about this motor. Most of what I found online came from old articles. Well, it's not really articles. You're not physically reading a newspaper. You get the idea. Blogs, I guess, as well as, of course, you know, YouTube certify ourselves. So like, comment, subscribe if you like these videos. And discovered that, yeah, there is. Whereas the V1 race has a steel crankshaft and just steel bearings. So, I'm kind of wondering what I actually have here. The box seems to be a bit confused. It wants to say it's a Picco boost, which it isn't. It's a V1. So we know it's not a Picco boost anything. Then, the rest of the box says it's a V1 race, and sure enough, it's a V1 engine, but the engine head says team. So did we get an okie doke here, and somebody just put a team head onto a V1 race engine? Or is it a bona fide V1 engine? Well, how do we find out for sure? Well, glad you ask. We're actually going to pop off the back plate. That will give us the best indication as to what's really underneath the head. Now then, if it's a V1 race, it doesn't mean it's a junk engine, doesn't mean it's a crap. It's a stellar motor. It's made by Picco, of course it would be. But is it a really cool treasure if it's a V1 race? Or is it a super stellar cool treasure and actually be the team version? The team versions are pretty rare. The serial number on the side of the block says V-0028, so it's number 28 of the production. They only made, if my memory serves correctly, they only made about 300 team editions. So I'm going to be some ecstatic once we pop this off. We find out it is in fact the team edition engine. Alright, so now we got our 4 screws out. Well, now they're out. Got our 4 screws out of the block on the back plate. Now, the one thing we want to make sure is that the piston isn't at bottom dead center. If I go try to pull that off, we're going to break the piston skirt. We don't want to do that. So we're going to rotate it up. So it's like that. And we're going to crack this puppy open. And you guys are going to see before I do what's actually in it. And if we can get the back cover off. There it goes. What do we got there, guys? Is it a DLC crank? Should I be happy? Or is it just a steel crank? I'm kind of nervous. I don't know. Should I look? I'm going to look. I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, boy! Look at that. The weighted DLC crank. This is a bona fide team edition motor. That is awesome. What a find. These were known to be killer engines. And I'm super stoked that I actually got an actual team version of it. That is crazy. Yeah. Looks pretty freaking clean in there too. Nice. Nice. I can't wait to be able to fire this puppy up. The only reason why it's not on the truck is I got to buy a new exhaust header. Exhaust manifold gasket. Picco will not work with your average exhaust manifold gasket. Once you get it past there, it puffs out the ring so much you can't even get an exhaust manifold on. And if you force it, you can see where it'd been forced because the last gasket on it was that guy right there. I wonder why it failed. It pushes it way down, compresses it, and it starts to roll up on the side. So these gaskets will not work. And that's pretty much the exclusive only to Picco, that style of exhaust port. The only other engine company that comes close to that kind of idea is Traxxas with the 2.5, 2.5R, and 3.3 engines. And theirs have a little rubber O-ring around here that actually creates a seal or allegedly creates a seal. If you don't replace it every time you pull the exhaust gasket off, the Traxxas engine, you end up with an air leak. Yep, that's crazy cool. I'm pretty stoked. You guys get a good view of that? Bring it right up. Uh-huh. Check that out. That is awesome. I am pumped. So we're going to put our back plate back on. This thing still has wicked stellar compression. It hasn't been run a lot. And we want to make sure we got our piston up there. Again, we don't want to break the piston skirt. And we want to make sure that when we put it in, that these parts here are facing towards the piston, or upright. The engine's upright. You want that milled stuff right there, that machined, milled area of their back plate. That needs to go in there. It needs to be up. Booyah, resealed. We're going to throw our bolts back in it. And we solved the mystery, guys. We have a Picco V1 team engine. That is so freaking cool. Bring the back plate up, dude. Check out that back plate. The machine work there, that's just wicked awesome. Kind of looks like a rim. I'm pumped. I can't wait to run this. This thing should be a screamer, especially in my... well, I say it's an MBX5T Truggy, but it's... originally it was the 5B Buggy with the rare Truggy conversion kit. That's what this engine normally lives in, and will continue to live in. Center bolts down. Cinch these guys down. Tight. 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 Notice that little movement I got going on there? What I'm doing is I'm feeling for the twist actually in the shaft. That little bit of spring, I know I've got it tight. I don't need to go beyond that. I go beyond that, I'm going to strip out either the threads or I risk stripping out the screw. That's tight enough. Notice it bounces back, feel that spring tension. Yeah, boy. Ooh. She don't like to turn over. She ain't been run a lot. So yeah, that's my Picco Team Edition V1. What a radical score. I am super happy with that. There's nothing not to be happy with that about. Now we're going to stuff it back into its very confused box, because it isn't even remotely close to what the box says it is. But that's okay, I'll forgive it. It's pretty cool nonetheless. I'm pretty stoked that I've got the engines, the engine manufacturer stickers. That makes me happy. So our owner's manual stickers back in the box. Set our engine back in the box till we get our exhaust manifold, and we'll bolt it back up onto the truck. And I'll do a video of it running. Silly box, you're so confused. You don't know what you are. So, thanks for watching, guys. Look for some more content coming down the road. It'll be a lot more regular than what it has been in the past. I just bought a house, so I now have a safe place to set up a studio that I can actually work in and film. It's a little bit difficult when you have roommates and you're living in their apartment and you can't exactly tell them to shut the hell up. You're trying to film a video. It's a little bit different here. I can do exactly that here. My house. Not that I have a lot of people running around in it. It's well, kind of a recluse unless I'm holding an RC event. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And keep burning nitro out there. We want to keep this part of the hobby alive. It's regressing to what it was before the 90s, though. I mean, pretty soon, the only thing you're going to be able to get that's nitro powered is 1/8 scale buggy, 1/8 scale truggy, and on-road racing type cars. So, .12s, .21s, truggies have all gone to 21s now, I've noticed, even though I'm running a Roma 25 in mine, but, yep. That is wicked cool. I'm super pumped, guys. Alright, man. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.